Yeah, it was a good day. Like I said, I wanted to be really strategic through this whole process. I felt with the people that we've added in different various ways are player profiles that I was looking at, but also the people and the character that I've made a priority, and I think people that at the end of the day want to be here in Vancouver, which was extremely important to me.
Gallagher and Schenn both obviously add that veteran presence. How important was that for you to add to the lineup?
Important. They bring a sense of grit. They bring experience. They've experienced a ton throughout their careers. Obviously, with a young group around them, there's so much that they can. They almost become secondary coaches in a sense. Of both are excited to help with this environment that I'm trying to put some life into and energy and passion. And both guys are extremely fired up, understand some of the influence that they can have on some of the players we have here. So it's just like I said, both those guys want to be here. They're ecstatic to be here. They want to get in this building and get going, and that's important to me and the group.
Can you walk us through the Marcus Pettersson, just sort of the timeline of, did that start this morning, or is that something you've been working on? Or
Like I said, I've been listening on everything, exploring options, trying to do what's best for this organization, short term, long term. When it became an opportunity with the return, and especially, I've made it clear that I'm okay looking into the future on some of these returns, and teams maybe are limited of what they can do short term and futures and more apt to push things, which is fine by me. So Marcus, outstanding player, an outstanding person. When he came here, he had a real impact on this dressing room. So I want to thank him. But it was just an opportunity that I felt I needed to take.
Had he indicated an unwillingness or a reluctance to be part of a rebuilding project?
Actually, the opposite. He was very on board with what we were going to do, the process and the impact that he could have on some younger players of being a part of this and the changing the environment. So that was a discussion that needed to be had. But at the end of the day, I think for a player like Marcus, a team obviously desiring him, that he's got a chance to go win and win now. I think it's a win for us, but also for him and his career and where he's at. To obviously New York is a great team, some great players there, and an opportunity for him to take a stab at winning now.
You've talked a lot about patience. Daniel and Henrik have used the word patience a lot. Doesn't get a lot more patient than a 2030, potentially 2031 pick. How do you think through the value of a pick that far in the future? I mean, we're talking about a maybe 13-year-old person that pick's attached to.
Well, looking at the options, looking at where what that team had available as far as first round picks, and then also the timing to make the move, I see value in a future pick. That is a time where I hope we are heading in the right direction and look back on, having that pick is still going to have value. It's hard to see it now, but something that, again, I'm not afraid to do, to punt things down the road, to give us opportunities at that point and it doesn't mean you wait till 2030. That's something you may be able to use earlier as value to bring something back.
What are you hoping to get from Oleksiak? This is his third stop, but a big guy who can hopefully play a big game.
Yeah, when obviously Marcus going out, he's got size and the things that he brings to the table. When you're throughout the course of the week, you're looking at all different types of players, what may come available, the timing of Marcus, and looking at the opportunity that may come from today. You've got to pivot very quickly. That's something I pivot on extremely quickly, and thankful of the timing of that to be able to come together. I feel like on a shorter term, we're getting a big body that can penalty kill, that gives us some stiffness. And again, you look at the young defensemen we have, we've got the opportunity to pair each of them with an experienced player to help them through their process and their development. So, and again, we're adding a really good person that wants to be in Vancouver. So that's, again, a win-win for me.
One thing on Luke, he said that he was a lot to you when he was trying to reestablish his game, and he's in Utica. How much do you think that is a kind of a paid-forward thing from a guy who's so grateful to be in the game and still be relevant?
It's, I always say, when you work hard, you treat people really well, good things happen. Luke was in a really tough time, had been kind of cast away, and hey, you're an American leaguer. And our first phone call, never forget where I was with him and his agent, was like, look, I'm going to get you back to where you want to be and where I know you can be. You just got to trust me and get on board with the process, and you do things the right way. You come and be a good teammate in Utica. Like, I'll do my job to get you to Vancouver. And when we got him to Vancouver, nobody wanted to see him go. And I'm just thankful. I've, always kept in touch with him. He's an ambassador of the game, a great human being. Talking to him today in the conversation we had leading into this, he wants to be here. He wants to have an impact. He wants to see this organization get to where the province, everybody wants it to go. So it's personal for him, and that's a big part of him coming back here.
Ryan, what do you like most about Paul Cotter?
Somebody that I've had an eye on for a while. I love his speed. He's got size. He plays a physical game, and he's got a scoring touch that I still think he's done it, but is still a little bit untapped at 26 years old. There's upside. Excited to work with him. He's ecstatic to be coming here. Again, it was just a win-win. I think he's in a bit of a prove-it year for himself. He wants to prove some people wrong. But like I said, I've watched him for years and appreciated his game, and the opportunity to get him here and into our group, how Manny wants to play fast, play direct, play north. I think he's going to fit to that perfectly.
Is he a winger through and through, or does he have some versatility? Can he play in the middle?
He has versatility. I know he can play the middle if need be, which is always a bonus. I know he's comfortable in the face-off circle. So when you have an opportunity, whether through injuries, it always provides you options. And like I said, at 26, I just felt we were getting somebody that, again, wanted to be in Vancouver, that has maybe a little bit of a chip on his shoulder and is fired up to get going.
Was the timing, or how connected sequencing-wise are the Pettersson trade and the Oleksiak deal from the perspective of what you talked about in this room a few weeks ago, or maybe even earlier this week, about not wanting to get sort of kicked in the teeth with young players on the ice?
Yeah, it obviously happened very quickly. I think you always have to keep, even though you don't have needs in a certain area, you have to be aware of what's out there and what is available, that if you get a call and you have to pivot, you have to have done your due diligence and the people around you prepared. Our staff has done an outstanding job of looking at scenarios. My support group through this was outstanding, talking through and being ready for a scenario like this, as opposed to, hey, we've lost a big piece of Marcus and now are we going to sit and watch things happen around us? We pivoted, we were prepared, and happy with the way it turned out.
And so not wanting to read between the lines, at some point today, Oleksiak's camp contacts you and says, I'd be really open to coming to Vancouver. Is that kind of what you're implying here?
Well, you know who is becoming available on the market. You're always having conversations. When I have an inkling at some point that something could happen here, and once free agency opens and I've got the opportunity to talk, I had to talk very quickly in preparation for a deal to happen or may not happen. But again, the preparation from our staff and being able to be prepared allowed me to pivot quicker than had I not, felt like there were no options on the table or nothing was going to happen. And then you go into panic mode, and I've been very clear to you guys that everything will be done strategically and there won't be knee-jerk reactions. And that could have been a situation where maybe you did if you weren't prepared for it.
On that topic of strategy, and you've talked about being methodical on a day when a ton of money and term is doled out around the league, like how happy are you that you were able to get guys on relatively short deals here?
Yeah, it gives us options moving forward. I'm always considering every type of deal, every type of it's always on the tip. But I think we've solved some problems. We've made changes. We've got some different faces without without having to take on a long-term commitments or things that might have put us a year from now or at certain times rethinking things. I think this gave us a facelift a little bit. It gave us an opportunity to get new energy and new people. And at the same time, when you got people maybe in a shorter situation that have a lot to prove, you often can get the best out of them.
Ryan, with the Höglander subtraction and then the Marcus Pettersson subtraction, you've sort of begun to obviously make changes, facelift around your club. Would you like to do more subtracting between now and the opening of training camp?
I think, to what I've said all along, I'm considering everything. I just want to make sure that it is done strategically, that due diligence is done on who's coming in here. I'm not doing my job if I'm not listening, and will always consider options. But and by no means am I content that this is, hey, we've done this and this is enough. That's certainly not the case. So I will continue to listen, continue to look at opportunities and options. But I'm happy again for the staff and the people that did a lot of work. I said it would be a quick sprint when I took over, and we haven't stopped running, and don't plan on doing that anytime soon.